Hey guys, welcome back. I am Countess and I have an article that I would like to read to you guys today. So, I've been doing a lot of research in my free time um, on a topic that is like a major rabbit hole. And I want to make sure that I get all of the research, put together the right way. And I will present this to you guys one day. I promise. Because it's pretty interesting stuff that's right up our alley with everything else that we know about the Beatles. So, I, in my research, I came upon this Beatles conspiracy blog. And this article, which really sparked my attention. And I thought that you guys might like to see it too. So here we go. I'm just going to run through it with you guys and then we'll see what, at the end, what we think. So the Beatles and the Wicked Dentist, right? Let's go. So a lot has been said and claimed about the Beatles and their LSD use back in the 60s. Certainly, John Lennon opened a can of worms in 1980, right before he died, in a Playboy interview that, quote, we must always remember to thank the CIA and the Army for LSD. That's what people forget. Everything is the opposite of what it is, isn't it, Harry? Note that everything is the opposite of what it is. Yep. So get out the bottle, boy, and relax. They invented LSD to control people, and what they did was give us freedom. Oh my goodness! So, um, I actually kind of rushed this, but I'm going to try and find a photo to insert here. If I can't find one, I'm sorry. All right. Add to that the inclusion on the Sergeant Pepper's sleeve of well-known LSD advocate Aldous Huxley, our old friend, and the Beatles' connections to the likes of Ginsberg, Leary, and Burroughs. Ugh, the like, those are like the sleaziest trinity ever. And it's a conspiracy theorist's wet dream. Most revolve around the theme that it was all a plan by the CIA and the Tavistock Institute to control youth culture, and the Beatles were their patsies. Certainly, the CIA funded the MK Ultra project, and that demonstrates governmental interest in such schemes. However, whether the Beatles were involved, knowingly or not, is a matter of conjecture. The purpose of this article is to revisit John and George's first experience with LSD and to consider the possibility that they were being manipulated right from the off. Bam! There you go, guys. And I find this very interesting because, like in memoirs, Billy tells us this exact same thing that they were involved knowingly. So there's no conjecture there anymore, right? So the episode took place in April in 1965 in Bayswater, London, at the home of Dr. John Riley, or, as he was known in the Beatles anthology, the Wicked Dentist. It had been inconsequential evening of socializing shared by George, John, and their wives Cynthia Lennon and Patty Boyd, and George's dentist, who had just drifted over to their social horizon. Then the five, accompanied by the dentist's wife, adjourned from the small dining room to the lounge, where the dentist slipped LSD, a substance then as little known to the Beatles as most in Britain, into their coffees. Riley's wife was a Canadian woman living in London called Cindy Bury, and she was a bunny mother at the Playboy Club. I find it interesting that the Playboy brand is being brought up in this article. Just very interesting knowing how sleazy and corrupt they were. You know, it's just interesting to me. Um, so it has been claimed that Riley was sufficiently immersed within the Beatles sphere and that he was in the Bahamas with them during the filming of Help. Riley, the son of a metropolitan police officer, it seems was a South Londoner destined for a life as an NHS dentist in North London until heading to the Northwestern University Dental School in the US and returning as one of Harley Street's few cosmetic dentists. Interesting, right there, right? The cosmetic dentist. Whoa, and we needed one back then, right? In 1966 to help construct teeth of a certain kind. Okay, watch this. As an aside, Riley would later supply the false teeth used in a Roman Polanski movie, The Fearless Vampire Killers. His LSD supply was manufactured at a farmhouse in Wales. This fact is interesting because back in the 60s and the 70s, the West Wales village of, I can't pronounce that, became a secluded hangout for some of the world's biggest rock stars, thanks largely to an underground cottage industry making millions of pounds worth of mind bending LSD. What? It has been claimed that those involved were said to have been responsible for 90% of the LSD produced in Britain and 60% worldwide. David Liftnoff, a 60s gangster who was an associate of the craze and who worked as an advisor on Donald Campbell's 1968 film Performance, was a local resident. It is pretty certain that Bob Dylan stayed at Liftnoff's house for 6 weeks during the summer of 1969, just after he'd been at the Isle of Wight Pop Festival. Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones has admitted that he's been to uh, that place in Wales too, and that whilst staying there, he'd use, quote, every illegal drug in existence and some which weren't in existence, unquote. Another one. Clearly, the link between Liftnoff and Riley was purely circumstantial. However, it does make one wonder if this was part of an established plan to lure the Beatles into the LSD sphere. Therein lies the story of the Beatles' first experience of LSD. Their second, let's forget, took place in California, according to John Lennon, at, quote, Doris Day's house, unquote, otherwise known as the Tate Polanski residence. Yes. So they all had connections, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all good children go to heaven. Like in I Am a Phony, it shows that little phrase was like written on a wall at the Spawn Ranch out with Manson and the family. So all kinds of crazy shit, right? There's all of this stuff with the counterculture. That's what I'm interested in, and that's what I'm researching right now, guys. I'm trying to put together um, just this influence. Where did these people come from? I'm trying to dig into a few of the people in the Beatles, well, and Billy's sphere that I believe Billy and his associates had a lot to do with bringing the counterculture to Britain and to Europe, actually. So I will be presenting that sometime, guys. I don't know when, but as soon as I get all of my information, I will have it. But I just found this very interesting because, you know, We know that they were involved with the LSD distributions, right? At the Monterey Pop Festival. That's where all of the drugs were given out, and they were given out for free. um, so people could try it and get, quote, turned on, unquote, to them. Yes. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you for watching, reading the article through with me. I just thought this was very interesting. So um, let me know what you think in the comments. Give it a like, share, maybe subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
But though they may be parted, there is still a chance, Bill, that they will see.